About tritone sub. This one's a little bit trickier to talk about. We got to go back to that E7 chord. Can you all see the dry erase board here? So we've got an E7 chord. Always got to spell it. So E7 equals E, G sharp, B, D. So that's a E7 chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. So the rule here for those that are new to the tritone is 3 whole tones away. And again, it's dividing up that chromatic scale in half. That's 3 whole tones. 6 semitones there is your tritone. E, B flat. You call it A sharp, but I think of it as a flat 5. And B is your 5th, so think of it as B flat 7. Let's spell out a B flat 7, then I'll talk about why it works and what the rule is. B flat 7 equals, well, B flat's our root. D is the 3rd. F is the 5th. And A flat is your flat 7. To find that flat 7 quickly, I always jump to my octave and go down a whole step. And that's how you can find your flat 7. 1, 3, 5 is your triad. And there's your flat 7. Just think of the song. I'll do it on E. Think of this song. I don't even need to tell you. Right? That's your dominant 7 arpeggio. 1, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Okay, here it is on B flat 7. Here's E and B combined. It's a pretty cool sound to connect those. Why do these two work so well together? E, B flat, E, B flat. Well, let's analyze it. If we combine these, which is what I'm saying is a tritone away, you could substitute another dominant chord. A tritone away from your original dominant chord, you can substitute another dominant chord. The B flat is your flat 5. So if I inserted a B flat over here, we now know that that's your flat 5. It's a pretty cool color, again, on a dominant chord. I don't know if you know that chord or not, but E7 flat 5. Very dreamy. Django loved those flavors. The D is already in there. I'm just examining why would it work to substitute this on top of that, essentially, or in place of it. It doesn't matter how you think of it. Because what's really cool is that one guitar player or the band could be playing E7, and you might be on top of it, superimposing or substituting B flat 7, and it's still going to sound fine. Okay, you can mix and match these. D is a flat 7. F is what? F is over here. I'm going to put it underneath. F is your flat 9. We already talked about that earlier in the diminished concept. So that's darker, I always say. E7 flat 9. Here's that B flat added on top. That's tritone sub. That's a tritone sub chord. I've got it all in there. I've got the flat 9 and the flat 5. So that's arrow here. A flat and G sharp, they're the same note. It's just renamed. That's called an enharmonic spelling. The D and the D, they're the same. So the 3 of the E7 becomes a flat 7 of the B flat. I know I demonstrated this on the guitar, but it's nice to see it on the whiteboard. G sharp, the 3rd becomes a flat 7. And the flat 7 becomes the 3rd. So they just invert themselves. So that's where I'm always demonstrating with the E7 little 3-note shape. E, G sharp, D. And then when you play B flat 7, B flat, A flat, D. So these 2 notes, the 3rd and the 7th, those are often called the guide tones. Those are the 2 most important notes. Those ones stay the same. And those ones you need to have in your chord. The other notes can change. So by doing a substitute of a dominant chord for another dominant chord, a tritone away, flat 5 or 3 whole tones, you create a flat 9, flat 5 flavor. That's how I like to say it. But it's so hip because now I gotta show you like that tune Noto Swing again. I hope you guys weren't looking at that. A Noto Swing does this. That's essentially a B flat 7. That's tritone sub. So all it is basically is going 1, 5. But listen to this. So again, we could do a lot of fun things, and you could still do harmonic minor that we talked about last week. Next week, we're going to hit some scales. But again, that's to me a very important concept, tritone sub. So it's a darker flavor. So instead of just going 1-5, 1-5, you could go 1 to the half step above dominant chord. Just like in Girl from Ipanema, if you are bossa people, Joe Beam used it like this. Right here. He goes up a half step and plays that dominant chord instead of the real 5, which is kind of bland, like this. Instead of doing this, he does this. And it has a very unique color to it because it kind of, it's a substitute essentially. So that's called tritone substitution. Again, any dominant chord substituted with another dominant chord, a tritone away. But that also means we can extract some really cool licks like this. Or this. Ooh, there's a lot, that's a whole tone scale, by the way. So there's some fun ways to really bring out that flavor. And the other songs that use that quite a bit, is besides Noto Swing, is Swing Chaton. That's another one. Django loved that again. Django actually used that in minor swing in this 1937 version. He puts a B flat 7 chord there after the E7. 1, 2, 3, 4, D minor, E7. You can do it here, E7, D minor. I'll slow down once I get to this part. Right here, E7, B flat 7. And then he does this little sub. And then at the turnaround is F7, E7, 1. Those are some small little things that are in there that you might not pick out. That F7, and that's a flat 6. That comes out of the harmonic minor scale. That I always say that makes it more bluesy to go. It don't mean a thing. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. See, to me, that's really bluesy. It has that blue note. This is not tritone sub. This is a flat 6. The tritone sub's a lot darker. But that's what I want you to just kind of be aware of, is that use of that tritone sub. When you're in a, so here it is. I mean, here's a quick little formula. So like, how do you spot that, especially in gypsy jazz? It's just a half step above the 1 chord. So if you know you're in A minor, a half step above is B flat. And sometimes it's disguised as a B flat 6 chord, but it's still a tritone substitution because B flat 6 is just a kind of a polite B flat 7. It just doesn't have that dominant 7 in there, but it's still, to me, considered as tritone sub. So just spot that. I've even seen some charts of Summertime, Summertime, where it goes up a half step, creates that, like instead of the 5, the arrangement goes up a half step to B flat 7. I'm including the E here though. So I'm playing it as a dominant 7, flat 5. I feel like it's important for you to know diminished substitution and tritone substitution on the dominant chords. That's going to help us navigate through these songs that are especially in minor keys. Follow up number 2 of this workshop. It's fun. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.